Many years ago, I came across a few lines in a book that I connected with. They were, "It's easy to judge, but you never know another person's heart, what gives them strength and what breaks them down." I have learned to listen more and speak less. The result has been eye-opening conversations and inspirational moments that I have shared with you right here. Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's a pleasure to have you here. We're almost at 22,000. That's our family and it keeps growing every day, so please do subscribe. It is Crystal One-on-One and we are on location at the very beautiful Le Chateau Brasserie Belge. I am here with a friend I've known for many years, although he ran away from Uganda. But that's work related. Now, Brian Kironde Kabuma is here with me. He has been working in development for so many years. You're an advocate for sexual and reproductive health, for women's rights. I'm not sure I can even cover all the work that you've done, but yeah, looking forward to talking to you about it. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Crystal, and thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm great.
I love the shirt. I love the shirt.
Thank
it's
you.
so bright.
Thank you very much.
Tell me about the shirt, because you said it's from Fiji.
Yeah, this is called a bula shirt.
A bula shirt.
Yeah, a bula is how Fijians greet. Like they say, Nisambola. That is how are you, and then you say bula back. So they have like happy shirts, bula, like, you know, blessings, happy shirt. Okay. Yeah, so they call it.
That's a happy shirt.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you.
I like it. Now we're talking about Fiji because I believe the company you work for right now, where you are, you're based in Fiji.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you are in an island close by.
Yes, my office is in Fiji, but I'm also coordinating a program between 3 agencies in an island called Kiribati.
Kiribati.
When you look it up on the map, you'll find Kiribati. That's how it's written, but the TI is an ace, so it's Kiribati.
Okay, that's the way they say it.
That's the way they say it.
Okay.
But originally, Kiribati is a translation of Gilbert.
So you're telling me Gilbert is Kiribati?
Yes, it's Kiribati.
Okay.
So the Gilbert Islands were colonized by the British so many years back. I think around 1976 they gained independence. Okay. And the locals turned the name from Gilbert Islands to Kiribati Islands. Okay. Yeah.
So we can say mother tongue influence in there somehow.
Yes, yeah. So that's where I spend most of my time. But my office is based in Fiji. Okay. And that's where I also spend a bigger part of my time as well. Okay. Yeah. Yeah,
but before Fiji, where were you?
Well, before Fiji, I was based in Liberia, West Africa, in Monrovia, the capital, but covering the entire country, you know, working in different provinces. And right before that, I worked in Uganda, and before Uganda, I had worked also in our headquarter office in New York, and previously before New York, I had started out my career in Uganda. Okay,
okay. So how did you get into this work? What is the background?
Well, when I was about 16, 17, I had a passion of music. I love music very much. I had a group of friends that started a music group, you know, and we called it Houseland Boys. But I wasn't very good at singing, you know.
You tried.
But the best I could do was really mobilize, you know, coordinate, help manage the logistics for the group. That's the best I could use my skills to help.
That's where you saw yourself
fit in. And we released a song that was so famous in Uganda called The Ray of Hope. It was during the HIV/AIDS era. Yes. And this song was a message about HIV/AIDS, how to stay alive and give hope. So we got identified by a program then supported by USAID to do this campaign around the country on safe sex and awareness.
And this is when you were 16?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we were volunteering, then we started working out with this program. It was called the DISH Project. We did voluntary work around other organizations like Pathfinder International when I was still in school. Okay. When we finished school, I went and did my degree in economics. And during that time, while at Makerere, I started with my colleague an NGO, which we called MAPLE. Maple then started attracting a lot of attention from the donors on reaching out to young people in schools, in communities, and giving them safer, sexual reproductive health messages.
Yes.
Don't get pregnant before you finish your education. Stay in school, avoid getting into risky sex and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So then we ran our NGO. So I live Makerere, and basically I can't find a job in Kampala. So we start running this NGO, and it's really picking up. And then I become.
So this was when you left.
Yeah, that's when I left Makerere. Yeah. So that's now when I become a fully fledged youth activist working around young people. I get to be invited for talks in conferences in Tanzania, in Spain, in Thailand, different countries, coming from Uganda, talking about these issues. So I got identified. By then there was a UN representative in the country here with UNFPA who identified me and asked me to work with them on starting up a youth program.
Yeah.
And so I joined a project called African Youth Alliance, and I worked with it, then moved gradually into now the full-fledged UNFPA work that I did. And I never looked back. I continued growing into that until currently now, yeah.
It's very interesting that you started so young. For many people, the activism bug hits them later in life.
Yeah.
They get to a point and they're like, no, I need to do something more. But that was really part of you for a long time.
Yeah.
Was there any influence in your life to set you on that path? Was it someone in your family? Was it the people you spent time with?
Well, during that time, I remember somewhere around 90s, 93, 94, 95, we had a huge scourge of HIV/AIDS, if you recall, in the country. I personally lost very many relatives, and as a young person, I was scared because I didn't know what to do. Getting into adolescence, you don't know if you're going to have sex and get sick and die. So.
And even the messages then weren't very clear.
Exactly. So we didn't know what to do. Luckily for me, my mother was very open about sexuality. So my mother was my first mentor when it comes to sexuality education. Yeah, because she sat me down and told me during the time, even up to now, parents find it very difficult to have these conversations about sex and sexuality with their kids. But my mother, sat me down and started talking to me about this stuff. And she introduced me to condoms and told me, look, if you ever get tempted, use condoms and stuff like that. So I thought that was quite inspirational because my friends didn't have that. Then my passion for loving music and seeing so many young people getting exposed to these illnesses, getting sick, dropping out of school because they were getting pregnant. I'm like, look, we should do something about this.
Yeah.
So that drove even our music. When we tried to do the music, we were inclined to do music that was giving positive messages. So I had a strong social context that helped put this passion in me.
Okay.
From my mother, my friends, and the things that I saw around that helped me be able to situate myself and say, look, I think I want to make a contribution here.
Okay.
Although I didn't know it was eventually going to become my career.
Yeah.
I thought I was just doing it, to make some small contribution as a young person and move on with my life.
Yes, I think, sometimes people think you have to do something huge to make a difference, but clearly, in a small way, we can all do something. Now, we know where you were from 16.
Yeah.
I want to take you back to when you were born here in Uganda.
Yes, I was born in Uganda about 41 years ago in Mulago Hospital. And my parents are both Ugandans.
Yes.
And I have 3 siblings. I have a brother and 2 sisters. And I've grown up pretty much in Kampala.
In Kampala.
I grew up in Rubaga.
You went to school?
Went to school in Nakasero Primary School. I went to Mengo Senior School. Then I went to Makerere College. And then eventually Makerere University.
Okay.
Yeah. But I've been pretty much homebred Uganda, and I'm so proud of that. Yeah.
And you always make an effort to come back home.
Yes, I do.
Is that also because of your own family? You have your own children now?
Yes, every time, as much as I've worked out of Uganda for a long time now, I always make an effort to come back home because it's where my roots are. My whole family is here. Um, my friends are here. That's a large part of my life growing up. As you've heard, that they're also a big influence to what I chose to be in life. So I'm more at home in Uganda. So wherever I go, I'll always find time to come back home and spend time with family. Like this break that I've had over this Christmas, it's been an amazing time with my family. I'm married with one wife, and I have 3 kids. And my second family, which is my in-laws, is also very supportive and very strong.
And they're here.
Yeah, and they're here. So I'm at home with my in-laws, I'm at home with so I have this huge family. And I believe I'm a very strong family-oriented person. So that to me matters a lot.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's very important to you
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Okay, so when you said that you eventually crossed over and started working with UNFPA,
Yeah.
where was the first place that you first worked here in Uganda?
Yes.
Okay.
I first started in Uganda. 2004, that's when I moved into UNFPA, Uganda. And then moved. I would do, because of my expertise in working for adults and young people, regional young people, I would do missions. You know, I'd get loaned to do missions. So I would go to different countries and support them, set up their bodies, coordinating bodies for young people. Like I worked in 2006, I went and supported Swaziland. I spent a couple of months in Swaziland working with them on the National Youth Council. Here in Uganda, I did a lot of work. I can proudly say that I was part of the team and leading the team that created the Uganda Parliamentary Forum on Youth Affairs.
Oh.
And very few people know that. But that's one of my proud babies.
Yeah.
I worked with, she was then Honorable Mariam Narubega. She was the youth member of parliament, but now she's out of, I think, the house. And together the two of us came up with that forum. And I'm so proud of the things that I've had it do in the country. So I see these footsteps, you know, and it shows me that this is the path that I was destined to make my contribution. So after working in Uganda, I left and went and worked in New York, our headquarters.
Yeah.
Then came back to Uganda again, then went to Liberia. And after Liberia, I went straight now to Fiji, where I'm based now, yes.
You know, I find it, you talked about how when you started out, it was first with music.
Yeah.
And when you're trying to reach the youth, a lot of people say the most effective way is to go through the arts, to go through music numbers. One to go through drama, and a lot of people now are even looking at film, at different online platforms. True. Is that something that was similar in all the different communities that you worked in?
That was the most strategic and influential driving approach to the work that we did, because we earlier on knew, when I say we, me and my friends that I worked with to start the youth organization.
Yes.
We knew this from day one, that the only way you could make messages or inform or educate young people was through entertainment. Because their attention span would be longer if you're entertaining while informing them.
Yeah.
So the organization we started, we did clubs, we called them Clickster clubs. Then I remember growing up, we used to have this, infatuation about the American lifestyle.
Yeah.
Gangsters, when Snoop Dogg came out, Dr. Dre and stuff. So we used to love gangster music. I'm a G, I'm a gangster and all that. So look, I could still come up with something that's quite cool and classy
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I don't have to do stuff that gangsters do. Like, I don't have to smoke weed. I don't have to, have multiple girlfriends or women to show that I'm a gangster, like the way we see in the American videos. So we said, like, let's create something that's different, but also quite unique. So we created Click Stars. So Clicksters was our own version of cool gangsters, but
Yeah.
with positive living. So we turned that Clickster operation to a program,
Okay.
and we created Clickster clubs in schools. So my role was to establish these clubs in schools. First of all, we started in Kampala, then we moved on to Mubende district, and in Kampala we had about 27 schools. Now, this is the best part.
Yeah.
So we had to go into the schools, create the clubs, work with the school administrations, keep the clubs running, entice young people to get into this lifestyle so that it becomes a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Because during adolescence, most young people are looking for identity. Where do I fit in? What's my place in society? When they lack that, they get attracted to the wrong groups, and then they chose them. They get into all these vices. You don't want them.
Actually, when you're a teenager, your friends become more important than your family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we did that, and we said, okay, fine, let's go and create this lifestyle in schools, and then we use that to give them messages. We give them access to health services, because then we are working also with the Kampala City Council Health Department, and we had access to their clinics, So whenever young people needed like condoms and stuff, we'd easily refer them and say, look, this is where you should go. And when we did that for some time, we then decided to address also those young people who are not in school.
Okay.
So it got more interesting. So during the holidays, we started organizing bashes, positive bashes.
Okay.
Because by then there were lots of things happening, KK Beach, Gaba Beach, stuff happening in all these places. And kids were going there and having, sex, and lots of funny stuff happening. So let's attract them to these nice, positive, good outings, during the day, nice fun. And then they could still enjoy themselves.
It'll be like an all day.
Exactly, and then go home and they're still safe. So we started creating free concerts, and we would call these young people. And some of the names who are now big artists in Uganda were some of the people that we gave our first audiences,
Yes.
first stage performances, first everything. Moses Sali, Bebe Cool was one of the guys that we worked with. Navio. Who Bobby Wine was one of the young people when we were working in Chitante. We had one of the concerts in Chitante High Hill School. He would come with, I think, Nubian
League.
Yeah, the young boys, and they would come and perform. They get a microphone, they do their stuff, enjoy, move on. Many other Maurice Kiria. Many artists, MC Cats, all these young boys, that started out then.
But it started out on a positive
exactly.
note,
Looking for a platform to excel in their career, and no one was giving them that platform easily, but free of charge, where they would come and then connect with young people in schools who later on became their fans, when their careers progressed. So I'm proud to be part of that, and I'm also proud to have worked with you in Sanyo FM and Mish, Dr. Mish, I remember very well, because you guys also elevated that and helped us get the media attention that we deserve to get this message out to young people. So that's how we really drove it. So the issue of information through entertainment is on point. That's how we go to the young people.
That's how you connect.
Exactly.
That's how you really connect.